welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a fall foundation and complexion routine for you guys. I feel like it's been a minute since I shared some of my favorite go-to complexion products and testing them out on the face. So that's what we're gonna be doing today, is just snatching the foundation. You guys seeing how it's done. If you guys are new to my channel, hi, welcome. My name is Jessica. I make videos on all things beauty. If you guys want to join us for the fun, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button down below. Also hit that notification bell because that will make sure that you are notified as soon as I upload. And don't forget to follow me on Instagram because I'm always there, the Mexican Beauty. Before we get into this video, I want to quickly say that I just launched the Dia de los Muertos pieces. I literally did this so last minute, but I wanted to do this for you guys because I know some of you guys did request this. I was like, you know what? I love spooky season, Dia de los Muertos. This is all my vibe, so I have to do something for the peeps. So this is the Dia de los Muertos hand crew neck. I love it. It is so nice and cozy. It's unisex. For the people who don't want anything on the front, you know, want a little bit of snatch on the back. I also have the hoodie. So the hoodie has nothing on the front, very plain, very simple. It's this little fuzz here, but then the back, we have statement on the back. These are also unisex. This is the same hoodie material as the one from Soy Latina and Soy Chicana collection. So yeah, grab it while it's hot, guys. Literally, I will link down below my website, themexicanbeauty.com. You can find these products there. This is a very limited edition. It's launching right now because I'm shipping this immediately so you guys get your hands on it and you guys can wear it for Dia de los Muertos, for Halloween, whatever you want to wear it, you'll get it in time. So that's why I'm launching this right now. There will not be a restock. Once this sells out, it is gone forever. So this is pretty much the last collection that I am doing clothing wise for 2020, and then we're on to bigger and better things. So yeah, I definitely recommend you guys checking this out. Please go ahead and check them out. I know, shameless plug, sorry not sorry. But without further ado, let's go ahead and get right into this fall foundation and complexion routine because I mean, a girl is snatched. Okay, so I am in full just morning attire, my Halloween PJs. And then I have a cup of coffee because I need it. So we're gonna go ahead and start. The first thing that I love to do for my fall foundation complexion routine is obviously apply some lip balm. So I'm gonna be taking my e.l.f. Ride or Die lip balm in PSL. This is a fall foundation routine, so I have to use my fall lip balm. So I'm just using this. I like to keep my lips moisturized as I just prep my face. I already went ahead and did my eye makeup. I was so excited because today I got a package from Araceli Beauty. They sent over their latest launch, the La-Catrina palette. Look how beautiful this is. Oh, I'm living. I want to do a tutorial with this palette for you guys, so expect that soon, but I had to just open up the package and play, so I did kind of like a halo eye. But I'm living. Okay, so to prep my skin, I always like to go ahead and really dive into that because I feel like the prep of the skin is what makes the foundation look so beautiful and so good for the entire day. So once I go ahead and cleanse my face, I like to go in with my favorite essence because this is kind of like a toner serum 2-in-1 type of thing. This is the Fenty Skin Fat Water. This is everything. So I cleanse my face, then I apply that. Once I go ahead and I'm about to start my foundation, it's very important for me to use something that's moisturizing, but also something that is going to control the oil. So I love my Ultra Repair Oil Control Moisturizer. You guys know I'm a huge fan of First Aid Beauty. I'm literally pretty much done with this moisturizer. Like, I use this all the time. I like to take this all over my skin. So it does a great job of moisturizing, but also absorbing any of those extra oils that may peek through. Another thing that I do love about this moisturizer is the fact that it is a little bit tacky, which I think is great, especially if you're going in with a tinted moisturizer for like everyday use or foundation and you kind of want to skip that primer step. This can also serve as a primer. I was gonna say primer. As a primer because It's tacky, so it really allows the foundation or tinted moisturizer to lock into your skin. So now that we have that, we have to go ahead and go in with sunscreen. This is an essential for me no matter what season it is. I don't care if we're barely getting any sun anymore or time change, you still need to be protected from the rays. So this is the First Aid Beauty Weightless Liquid Mineral Sunscreen with zinc oxide. I love this sunscreen. It does so well with my rosacea skin. Another one of my absolute favorites from First Aid Beauty. I'm gonna apply some on my ears because ears matter too, not just the face. I feel like sometimes people forget that their neck is important too. Neck is one of the first areas to show aging. Neck and hands. So protect these babies at all costs. So the primers that I really have been enjoying for this fall season are these two right here. So the first one is not a surprise to any of you guys. This is the e.l.f. Matte Putty Primer. I like to place this primer in specific areas. I do feel like when it comes to primer, I like to target certain primers for certain areas. In certain areas, some primers are not gonna work as well as others. Obviously, if you're somebody who's looking for just one primer to do the trick, you can definitely do that. But I feel like when you do have, you know, certain needs in certain areas, it's better to use certain things in certain parts of the face. So that's why I like to use my e.l.f. Matte Putty Primer in the areas where I tend to get the most oily. So I just take a little bit of this and I kind of warm it up with my fingertips. And then like this, just because you really want to disperse the product out. And then I start to go in around my nose because that's where I get really oily. Also, these are the areas where I have the most enlarged pores, right here. The smile lines, that's another big location where I need to be on the lookout. And then up here, placed that on the T-zone area. Now I really have been enjoying this Rare Beauty primer. This is more so a radiance primer, but I really like it. I know some people do not like it at all, but I like to kind of press it into my cheek area because that's kind of like where I want that radiance. And also, like I mentioned before, my cheeks and just kind of like the outer areas of the face. My cheeks tend to get really dry in the winter. I like to wear this also without any type of foundation, sometimes just alone. It looks beautiful. Or you can mix it in with like a tinted moisturizer if you want a little bit more radiance. I just truly feel like it just gives you such a pretty like radiance from within. And now we're gonna move on to foundation that I have really been enjoying for the fall season. So, drum roll please. This Rare Beauty foundation I think is absolutely excellent for the fall season. You guys are about to see why as I talk and explain. But to apply it, I have to give a shout out to this incredible brush by IT Cosmetics. This is the, here we go, the Skin Smoothing Complexion number 704. Highly recommend this brush. It is absolutely phenomenal. IT Cosmetics has amazing quality brushes. Yes, they're a little bit more high end, but I definitely do think that this brush is worth it, especially if you do love a really beautiful complexion. I am in the color 330N. One of the main things that I love about this foundation is the fact that it is so lightweight, but it still offers such amazing coverage, which I feel like during the fall time is when people like to have like a nice full coverage finish. Do you see that? The coverage is just so nice and full, like it covered that cheek immediately. And look at this brush just going right in there and getting everything locked into place. It's just phenomenal. You can see the difference between the foundation and no foundation and how much it covers so fast. It has this healthy radiance, but the consistency of this foundation is so lightweight that even when you go in and powder, which you guys will see in a little bit, and give it more so of a matte finish, it still holds on and looks so spectacular because the foundation is just so lightweight. And this is one of the reasons why I love having my lip balm on my lips, because it does a good job making sure that the foundation stays off of the lips. I just feel like it's the perfect foundation for the fall because it covers, which we love full coverage. It doesn't feel like you have anything on, so you don't have to worry about it feeling super, super heavy on the face, even though you do have full coverage. And I also love it because it has a good, comfortable finish. So as the season's changing, as you start to get a little bit more dry, your skin isn't gonna dry out with you. Your foundation is gonna look nice, silky, and in place through the entire day. You know, makeup trends aren't as super intense and full coverage, like Kat Von D full coverage, as they once were in the past. Now it's more so of really embracing your natural skin. And I feel like with this foundation, you're still able to really embrace your natural skin. but you can also give it that super full coverage moment like I'm doing right now. That is the foundation and the A Cosmetics brush. Okay, so now that we have applied the foundation, we're gonna move on to concealer. A quick tip I wanna give you guys is don't worry if you feel like there's some areas that you could add a little bit more foundation on, because the concealer can always go back in and just kind of do any touch-ups that it needs to. So I have to say my go-to staple concealer is the e.l.f. Hydrating Camo Concealer. This is like the best concealer for the fall season, especially if you do like to go in with a matte foundation. This isn't necessarily the most matte foundation, but if you're somebody who's like, you know what, for the fall and winter, I do like a very mattified look. I always suggest going in with a concealer that is more so of a hydrating consistency, because if you have thick foundation that's super matte over thick concealer that's super matte, that's gonna be a hot, nasty mess. You want something that's gonna be like a happy medium balance for both. So I like to go ahead and just apply this. This is so pigmented, so very little of this goes a long way. This one is in the shade Medium Sand, and I'm gonna be taking my sponge. I'm using the Sephora Pumpkin Sponges, and I'm just gonna begin blending this out. And I like using this because I feel like with a sponge, if you do go in a little bit heavier handed with the product, it is damp. My sponges always stay damp, in case you're wondering, because I do like to make sure that I can go ahead and, you know, absorb any extra that may, you know, been a little too heavy handed with. This Hydrating Camo Concealer by e.l.f. is honestly the best thing that ever happened to me. So I'm gonna be using my Airspun powder, which I always talk about. I'm gonna be using a damp sponge. This is my Fenty Beauty sponge, and I'm gonna use this little tip to press the powder, because I do have to go ahead and bake the under eyes, because my under eyes crease no matter what. This is the only way that any type of concealer will stay locked into my under eyes. I've tried to be like, oh, you know what, this claims to be a creaseless concealer, let me try it without it, and it's a no-go. I have to end up taking off the entire under eye and then baking it. Like, this is just an essential for me. So I like to do this step, but something that I do recommend, especially as it starts to get colder and as our face starts to dry a little bit, when you go in with the step, if you do have to do this step like I do, I recommend going in with a damp sponge, so that, you know, when you're applying the powder on the under eye, it doesn't over dry the under eyes. The last thing you want is a super dry, cakey under eye. With this concealer, less is more, because it is a full coverage moment. And I also really love going in and just highlighting high points of the face. I don't do this all the time, but sometimes I do like to do this step, especially if sometimes I feel like I want to look a little bit more snatched. I just like to highlight the areas where I kind of want to accentuate. So obviously, if there's any areas that you don't feel comfortable accentuating, do not highlight that. Or sometimes also, if you feel like the foundation may be a little too dark, you know, or you just want to create a little bit more dimension to the face, this is a good step, because it allows you to go back in and work with that foundation to kind of give it a little bit more life. And do you guys see, like, just that I feel like added a little bit of dimension between the foundation shade to the concealer shade. So do you see, I'm just swiping away the powder like this, and then I'm kind of taking any extra powder and I'm just bringing it down a little bit to remove any shine from this high point right here. So some of you guys may be asking, like, when do you know how long to leave your under eye bake if you do crease a lot? So it really depends on the foundation. If I have a thicker coverage foundation, I leave it on for less, because I don't want it to over dry on that under eye and get super cakey. If I'm working with a foundation that isn't so matte and drying in full coverage, and I kind of can leave it on for longer, I would say don't leave it for more than a minute. So I'm gonna be taking my favorite contour stick. This is the Wet n Wild Dual Ended Contour Stick in medium. I highly recommend this contour stick. They have it in 3 different shades. They have one for light, they have one medium, and then a dark one. This is super affordable at the drugstore, very comparable to a lot of high-end contour sticks. I'm telling you, I've tried them all, and this one's one of my favorites. Well, it is my favorite. This is probably like my 2nd or 3rd tube. It's so good. So I like to use this to kind of go ahead and just contour and bronze up some of my face. I just always like to go in for the forehead, just to kind of, like, you know, reduce a little bit. The chin, that's always one that I like to do. And then always, I love to do my nose contour. I literally never miss this step. So we have it like that. The last place that I like to blend out is the nose because I really just kind of want it to like take its place and know where it's gonna be positioned. So I kind of leave that for last. Then I just take a fluffy brush. This is an old Real Techniques brush. It looks super busted, but I love how it works because it's kind of like already shaped to like my my jawline and my chin so that like it knows where it's positioning to blend everything out. And I always like to make sure that I really go in and blend everything out super nicely. This year I've been really into the creams. I just love using creamy products because I feel like it kind of gives your face more so of a like natural type of blush and contour. So for the nose contour, I really love to blend it out with this KKW brush. This is such an oldie. I don't know if this is on the website. I'm sure it is, but this is supposed to be for concealer, but this side is like a dream for blending out my nose contour. So I kind of just like to take the contour and just kind of blend downwards. And I do take the contour pretty high up, like right next to my brow, so it all kind of connects, you know, as I blend it out. I just recommend using like a nice fluffy brush to really blend out the contour as much as possible, diffuse it out. If you do feel like you were a little bit harsh and it's not diffusing out so much, you can always go back in with your concealer sponge and kind of just dab it in little areas where you still have a little bit of concealer product, and it'll definitely blend everything in very nicely and together. But I feel like this is perfect. It did a good job. Or you can also take a little tiny bit of powder and just kind of blend in between to kind of create, do you guys see how that created kind of like a little bit of a highlight there? So it knows like, you know, where to lay, I guess. So that's like what I like to do, and it works for me every time. Highly recommend this Wet n Wild contour stick, so good. Okay, so now we're gonna move on to blush. So I'm going to be taking my Rare Beauty blush. This one is in Love. This one is a matte blush. So the best way that it works for me to blend out this blush is to use a sponge. I just feel like it gives me more so of a natural look. It really pushes the product in. And also, really quick disclaimer, you do not need a lot of this. Very, very little of this goes an extremely long way. So just keep that in mind. So now we're gonna go ahead and do is the final thing for the face, which is powdering it. This is super important, especially if you do kind of want a more like matte finish. If you are wearing a foundation that isn't the most matte, this is super helpful. I don't like to set the entire face because I don't need to do all that. I just want to set the areas where I tend to get very oily. So I'll go in and set the nose a little bit. It's because my nose sometimes can get a little dewy. Right here, very, very important. I like to go in with a little extra right around the nose, just because that's where I get oil. You guys can see the difference already. With powder, you're about to see. Let's lock this baby in. Get rid of any of that shine. And I just love the fact that this foundation is so lightweight that you're able to go in and just powder the face without you looking like too cakey or anything like that. I also do like to go in with a little bit, whatever's left of the powder that's on the brush, and kind of set the places where we went in with our cream contour. I do like to go in with a little bit of glow because, I mean, why the hell not? I like to be a little extra, especially in the fall. So I'm gonna be taking my Araceli Tequila highlighter. This one is in Reposado. It's my absolute favorite highlighter. And I take the brush that goes with it. And I love this brush so much because I mention this in every video, but literally it is so big that it really disperses the product out instead of applying it like specifically in one area. So I just go in and just literally just a little bit, like that much. I feel like we're past those intense highlighter days from you had highlight from here to here. Those days are gone. So now we just do a little bit, but we can't skip out on highlighter, you know? Just like enough to like give you a healthy glow. I'm gonna go ahead and quickly finish off the rest of the face. and then we'll do the very, very last step for last, and then we can wrap things up. Okay, so I went ahead and changed. I wanna quickly do my setting spray because that's obviously very, very important. And I have been really loving the e.l.f. setting spray for the fall. This is a brand new one that they came out with. This is the Stay All Night Micro Fine Mist setting spray, up to 16 hours. This is so good. It's very comparable to the Urban Decay All Nighter, except very affordable. I have a full review on this, but I always shake it well. Gotta shake, shake, shake. Highly recommend the e.l.f. one, so good. I just feel like it gets the job done. This is pretty much my fall foundation complexion routine. I really hope that it was useful for you guys. I tried to make sure that there was a good, healthy in between of affordable and high end for you guys, but truly these products are amazing and I've just been obsessed with them. I'll have them all linked down below in my description box. Also the eye makeup and the lip will be down below. Let me just tell you guys, the Araceli La-Catrina palette is stunning. You guys definitely have to check this baby out. I'm gonna quit rambling and let you guys enjoy your day. I will go ahead and see you guys very soon. Don't forget to like this video if you did enjoy watching my videos. I love doing videos like this for you guys. Also, don't forget to subscribe to my channel because that helps me out. Hit that notification bell, do all that fun stuff. Stay safe, stay blessed, and stay beautiful. Have a gorgeous day, and I'll be seeing you guys very, very soon for a brand new video.